Hello, welcome back to the channel, and today we're flying through space one last time in Guardians of the Galaxy Vol.3. So, wanna know something? I found this movie to be more disturbing than Evil Dead. I'll get into why in a bit, but so this of course is the third and as of now final Guardians of the Galaxy movie, or at least the final film where it will be all of them together. And by God, is it one hell of a way to go. So let's get into it. So the plot of this one is that, of course, after the holiday special, the Guardians are just chilling out on nowhere, like getting up their headquarters set up, and suddenly they are attacked by Adam Warlock, and Rocket is heavily injured in the ensuing battle. So now they need to find this, and they can't heal him because of like it's like a chip that will kill him if all technologies not belonging to the thing that made Rocket are used or something. Like, they don't really explain much of how that chip works. It's all you need to know is that it will kill him if they try anything. But so they need to figure out how to deactivate it, and the only real people who know that are the people who made Rocket, which is the High Evolutionary. And so they set out on a quest to get the knowledge from him to save their friend. And yeah, that's the plot. So I'm just gonna say it, this movie is fucking incredible. Again, the plot's a little simple. It's a lot more simple compared to 2, where they're fighting fucking gods and shit. This time around, they're fighting someone who wants to be a god. But just like in 2, this movie really pulls at your heartstrings even more than in 2. Like, very rarely, like I said in the Puss in Boots review, very rarely does a movie make me cry on a personal level. But yeah, this one made me ball up like a little baby bitch boy. And I'll get to why again in a minute. But so let's talk about probably the most notable thing of this movie. Why did I find it to be more disturbing than Evil Dead? Well, for one, the High Evolutionary, this movie's villain, is fucked up. So, I don't know much about this character from the comics, but the High Evolutionary is a dude who essentially wants to play God. He wants to perfect life in every single conceivable way. And even if he notices one imperfection with his creations, he will fucking torch them. Like, going into spoilers here, in this movie, he thinks he created like a perfect society planet, and as soon as the Guardians mention one thing that was wrong with it, he fucking destroys the planet. Like that, on a dime. So like, it's not one to fuck with. And of course, this is the guy who created Rocket, and we learn his backstory, and like, Jesus fuck, he did not have a nice go of it, did he? This is probably the parts involving Rocket, like Rocket's backstory is the stuff I really teared up at, because it hit me on a personal level with my own friends. Because again, going into spoilers, Rocket, like, during this time made friends with other, like, experiments of the High Evolutionary. And it just, like, when I was in the theater, it got me thinking about my own friends who, I'll just say this, I don't want to go into too much detail, but one of them had health issues rather recently. And, like, there's a scene in this where, like, they're trying to save, like, Rocket and all that, and like it's such a powerful moment, And because of like those issues my friend was having around this time, like I couldn't help but like think of that and cry. If you're wondering, he's fine now, but yeah, that's how this movie fucking punched me in the gut, man. And even then, even looking past my own personal stuff, it's still sad, even if you're going solely off the movie itself and not your own personal stuff. And like I said, it is a very hard pill to swallow. Again, and another thing is, I do not expect this movie to be for everyone. Especially coming off the first two. Like, this movie is dark. It is fucked up. So I don't really expect it to be for everyone, but I loved it so much. Now, luckily, to balance out the dark shit, we have a lot of humor. And unlike other things that won't be mentioned here, fucking She-Hulk, but unlike something like that, the humor in here is actually good. And probably because James Gunn knows good people to write his scripts and knows people who know how to write funny dialogue. So, yeah, the movie is very fucking hilarious. And another thing, again going into spoilers here, this movie is the first MCU movie with a uncensored F-bomb. Like, they act like there is an F-bomb in this movie, for anyone who's wondering. So I guess that's one step for the MCU. It's not Deadpool level yet, but it's getting there. It's slowly. I'm sure once Deadpool gets there himself, he'll make nice work of that PG-13 rating. But yeah, movie very funny, and yeah, really good humor to balance out the emotional and dark shit. So, the reason why I found this movie to be more disturbing than Evil Dead is, one, I mean, I'm a horror head. I'm kind of become desensitized to that kind of shit. But is that I'm an animal lover as well. And so I don't really like seeing animals, let's just say, harmed on screen. Well, not, again, these aren't real animals getting harmed, but like, and I know that, but like, Steve, even the idea of knowing that an animal is being messed with in a way that isn't right, it's something that doesn't really feel nice to know. So that's why I found this to be more fucked up than Evil Dead. It's funny I get to say that. But yeah. So, putting Guardians of the Galaxy Vol.3 into the old blood bag here, for the fact that it made me cry on a personal level, everything else, I'm giving this shit a 100%. It is up there with my all-time favorites of the MCU. I loved this. Again, do I think it's for everybody? No, I definitely can see a few people not liking this, but it is so good, and if you're willing, check it out in theaters. I mean, I'm assuming everyone's gonna watch it. It's Guardians of the Galaxy 3, so like I'm expecting people to see this. If I had one complaint with the movie is that, again, spoiler alert, is that I kind of wished Adam Warlock did more. Like, he does a lot in the beginning and in the end, but towards the middle of the movie, he doesn't really do anything. In fact, he doesn't even show up. He only shows up a few times, like, I think once in the middle of the movie, and that's fucking it. So, kind of wish he did a bit more in the middle, maybe presented himself a bit more, considering he will be in other MCU projects. And also, the editing was a little clunky here and there, but again, not enough to detract my enjoyment. But yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, like I said, 100%. It is great. It's as some would say, this is probably a return to form for the MCU. Which, I mean, comparatively to stuff like Ant-Man 3, She-Hulk, Thor: Love and Thunder. I mean, I enjoyed Ant-Man 3 and Thor: Love and Thunder. I did not enjoy She-Hulk, but, like, I didn't think those were bad movies, but compared to a lot of what we got last year, yeah, this is a huge step towards being amazing. So yeah, to some, this was probably a return to form for the MCU. But speaking of the MCU, we only have one more Marvel movie this year. That's The Marvels, which I don't really have the biggest faith for that one, but when that comes out, I'll probably review it. I didn't review Ant-Man because I didn't get to see that, and I've seen it now. Don't expect a review for Ant-Man 3. It's been out for so goddamn long, and I don't really care for it. But yeah. So yeah, future the MCU. When was I? Yeah, talking about the Marvels. Yeah, when that comes out, I'll review it. But yeah, superhero movies for the rest of the year looking bright for the most part, because I think we got The Flash and Blue Beetle coming out next month. Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna be talking about The Flash. No doubt about that in my mind. I'm definitely talking about that one, but. And of course we got Spider-Verse 2. But yeah, definitely a lot of superhero shit. So, in terms of blood bag reviews coming to the channel, so expect that a lot. And again, I'm still working on like the big videos. Trust me. I now realize how fucking difficult it is to make a big video, but when that comes out, it will come out. But yeah, anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this review on Guardians of the Galaxy Vol.3. Leave a like if you did, and subscribe if you enjoyed my content, and I'll see y'all next time. Goodbye.